Here's a kit I bought off Aliexpress, a Zaku 2 knockout or knockoff, um, high grade, and I have a little bit of things I want to say about it. It's so far it's been pretty fun to build, um, although I didn't get to complete that, and I'll get back to that here in a moment. But what I was able to do, I had fun with. But there was a couple things that I noticed that stood out with the kit overall, and so I want to go over that with y'all as I'm doing this build video, and then what I was able to complete and get done. And so you can see I'm building the body here. And what I noticed with the body, very briefly, is that I first noticed that the plastic was not as good of a quality as you can see with the Bandai kit, and you can see stress marks and stress fractures a little bit within the mold, so you could tell that it wasn't molded and formed very well, and so the quality control would seem to be an issue with these kits, and that was pretty much warned to me whenever I bought these and started looking into these, so I wasn't too worried about it. I knew what I was getting myself into when I bought these. But I do like the color separation. I do like the color difference between the kit. The black and the purple is really cool. Though I didn't get to do any panel lining yet, and I won't be able to do that until later on. And I'm also not putting any stickers on here for the same reason why I'm not putting any panel linings, because I don't want to do that just yet until I'm actually done with the kit itself. One thing I did notice, one major thing I did notice was with this kit is that there's a lot of seam lines, just an atrocious amount of seam lines on this kit. I thought using my glass files would kind of help clean them up a little bit. And despite my best efforts on one of the pieces on the torso, that just didn't happen very well. It just wasn't clean enough. And no matter how hard I was trying to sand it down, it didn't seem to go away. But again, I was warned about the quality of this kit, so I kind of expected that to be one of those issues that I would run into. Another one was fitment issues. That was something that was brought to my attention when I first started looking at these kits and messaging, or not messaging, but posting about them, was fitment issues. And I didn't know, I kind of figured it would be the bits associated to the frame of the kit, or putting it together. It was more so the torso parts and the body part, where the pegs interlock with one another. Those seem to be uneven spacing between the peg and the hole that the peg fits in. So you kind of have to do some manipulation of the parts and squeeze and kind of force the peg in the hole, so to speak, just for those two parts to fit together correctly. And even when you do, you have misalignment issues, what I noticed. And they stood out. They stood out. It wasn't one of those things I was like, oh, okay, I can get away with this. No, they stood out. But again, it's a $10 kit. What are you going to expect? Nothing like you're going to get out of a Bandai kit. This is clearly you get what you pay for here. You can tell in the video I get a little too carried away with trying to clean up even the parts that you won't necessarily see all too often. I got used to doing that with the Bandai kits because I like because you can see just about everything with the Bandai kits, and so I like to make sure it's nice and flush and clean, and things kind of are level. But trying to do that with this particular kit, this particular knockoff, it just almost seemed futile, because no matter how much you sit there and sand down at the plastic, it doesn't seem to work. It doesn't seem to do what you want it to do. So it's a very different experience building what I did with this kit versus what I was able to accomplish with the real grade Force Impulse Spec 2 that I built recently, or the Char Zaku real grade that I built recently. Clearly, there's a clear difference between the two companies that produce these kits, and so it's obvious. And then you notice that those new nippers that I got, those were awesome. Using those, I had no idea how what I was missing, not using quality nippers like that. So I was very impressed with those, with what I was able to get done. And so we're getting pretty close to the end of the build here, where I was able to get finished at. And basically what it boiled down to was that I got to the point of starting to build the feet and the legs, and suddenly I got to that point like everybody else does with these kits, and realized very quickly that the molds were not complete. And that was a little upsetting, because I was making good time. Had I been able to have good molds, I would have finished the kit about 2 hours ago. I would have plenty of time to get ready for dinner, and still get plenty of time to get ready for dinner, take my wife out for dinner and a Christmas party. But as soon as I got to that runner and started to put the feet together, it was just a sudden state of shock. It threw me for a loop, and there it is right there. That's where you see it. So disappointing. So anyway, thank you for this video. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed whatever I was able to accomplish with this kit. I'm ordering a new one, so I should have the full video up in a couple of weeks. Thank you.